We're joined in the studio by Matt Vogel from Witness Against Torture, a group campaigning since 2005 to have the Guantanamo Bay prison shut down. It's interesting, we were just hearing President Obama in Trinidad saying we can't be prisoners of the past and past disagreements. Clearly that's his position on accountability for torture as well. Do you think that's a tenable position?
Well, I think that when we're talking about accountability, prosecution is actually moving forward. You know, what prosecution does is it ensures that this won't happen again. It ensures that the prohibition against torture does not depend on whoever's sitting in the White House. And so it isn't looking backwards. It's perhaps one of the most forward-looking things that we can do.
It is interesting that his term for that process is retribution, actually, which is perhaps what's creating the confusion perhaps in this issue. But what precedent then does it set for future administrations if people aren't held accountable?
Well, that's exactly it, because what that says, if people aren't held accountable, is that high-ranking officials can commit egregious human rights violations, can torture people, one of our most cornerstones of human rights law, and be completely able to run around as though nothing ever happened.
There are those in the security services who say that if people are held accountable or if they are prosecuted, this will inhibit the security services' ability to do their jobs.
Well, and there may be some truth to that, and really it's the people in the security services who aren't actually, in my mind, the most culpable. It is the lawyers, the high-ranking officials who devise what we see in the memos as a clear policy, a deliberate attempt to justify torture by some of the highest-ranking people in the administration, and those are the people that should be held really responsible for this.
Is it clear what legal justification the administration is using not to prosecute those people? I mean, the Obama administration is saying, look, these people who are, the Nuremberg defense following orders shouldn't be held accountable. What about the people who formulated the legal? Is there a clear argument that you can see?
Well, it hasn't really. It's not in the courts as of yet, but people talk about the idea that lawyers can't be prosecuted for giving advice. But if it is the case that lawyers' advice is all someone needs, then any despot can simply claim lawyers' advice and have absolutely nothing happen.
I suppose we should put this into the context of how these documents were released. It was actually the ACLU, the Council of Civil Liberties, who went to court to try and get these papers released. The Obama administration didn't just release them off their own bat. What are we seeing, though, now that the Obama administration is almost at 100 days, as far as transparency about what's going on?
Well, unfortunately, it's not a very heartening record. We've seen the Obama administration, to the surprise of many in the legal community and in the human rights community, use the state secrets privilege in a torture case in California. We've seen the Obama administration repeatedly try to limit or block judicial oversight and legal access to prisoners being held in Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan. And so, little by little, we're seeing some parroting of the exact same positions that the Bush administration took.
You've been campaigning for the prosecution, then, of those involved in torture. That's what your group was founded partly to do. Do you really think you're going to succeed?
Well, it's a hard battle. I think that there are voices in Congress. We've been meeting, throughout the 100 days, this first 100 days, we've been meeting with people in Congress about this. And there are voices in Congress. John Conyers has come out suggesting that prosecution may be an option, and others. And I really think that if it's going to happen, it's going to be because people in the country step up and make it happen.
Matt Vogel, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's it for now. The weather forecast and the headlines are next.